At this point, I'd like to hand over to our resident Citrix specialist, Nick Stapley. Nick joins us with a wealth of experience both overseas in Europe and Australia. And he's going to take you through the Applaud-cloud.com proof of concept application access site, and he's going to give you an example about some of the concepts that I've just talked to you about. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Ricky. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. As Ricky rightly said, my name is Nick Stapley, and I've been working for a very long time within this particular space, so I have a lot of knowledge and experience to bring to the table. And today I really want to demonstrate to you the power and the technical ability of what we're talking about here. We're talking about, I'll just show you my screen. We're talking about the ability to be able to rapidly migrate to a core operating system, whether it be Windows 7, Windows XP, etc. But Windows 7 is what we're focusing on at the moment. There's a lot of companies looking to migrate to Windows 7, and it's always a challenge of how do you achieve this? What is the best way? Legacy-wise, you'd have to talk about re-imaging workstations, maybe delivering a whole new desktop infrastructure, etc. With today's technologies and the great advances that have been made over the last couple of years, we've seen a really strong uptake in virtualization technologies from the operating system right through to the application base. What you have here is, you can hopefully see my screen, this is an old legacy Windows XP workstation. It's 4 years old, and if I just show you the properties of the computer, you'll see it's just a Windows XP, Service Pack 3, pretty standard, 1 gig of RAM, quite a slow processor in today's age. So that gives you an idea of what I'm running at the moment. So this pretty much simulates a lot of the estate out there within a lot of corporations. The actual workstation has very little installed. I don't even have Microsoft Office Outlook on here. So I'm really quite locked down. And what I want to do is I want to try and get this user migrated to Windows 7 as quickly as possible. And so basically what we're talking about here is setting up a back-end infrastructure using Zen Desktop and Citrix technologies to allow us to rapidly migrate overnight, in effect, to a Windows 7 operating system, something that has not been possible in the past. And this is what I want to demo to you now. So imagine I've come on in the morning and I've logged in, and I've been instructed to by the IT staff to go to a particular website. Now this is just one example of the way we access the infrastructure. So once I load up Internet Explorer, you'll see it's going to take me to our web portal. And from this portal, I then will log on with my normal Active Directory username and password. Now, at this point, I'd like to point out that this is just one method. We could have changed the actual desktop build here. So when I turn this old legacy XP workstation on, at the Control-Alt-Delete phase, we could have rejigged the operating system using group policy centrally to tell it to automatically go into our Zen Desktop environment at logon. So seamless to the user. This user will come in one morning, be used to running XP, they'll do Control-Alt-Delete to log on. All of a sudden, they'll be presented with their brand new Windows 7 operating system, unbeknownst to them. It's completely seamless, hands-free, and that's really the power we're talking here. So anyway, for now, I'm going to log on using this method. Now, what this is showing me here is the web front end, the web portal. And what I have available to me is a couple of different desktop images, as well as some applications using XenApp. For now, for this purpose, we're talking about Windows 7. So what I'm going to do is select the Windows 7 edition of the client. So once I click on this, it should then talk to the back end and present me with my Windows 7 operating system, customized for me and for my exclusive use within this session. So when I then log on, it automatically passes through my authentication from Active Directory, and in a little while it will log me on to my default profile. I've never logged on to this workstation before, so this is going to create me a whole new Windows 7 base default profile based on the corporate standard. We can define this and centralize it accordingly, so you can customize it for your needs. so that you can guarantee that everyone that logs on for the first time will have your specific corporate settings, such as intranet, home sites, proxy servers, and other customizations. All that can be done through this central mechanism. Now what you can see is I've instantly been given my Windows 7 desktop. Now moving around as a user, if I push even the Windows key on the keyboard, straight away it comes up, and the performance is very well, and especially I'm on a LAN at the moment, but even when connecting through remotely, the performance is outstanding because of the advances in FlexCast technology. So now if I just have a little browse around, if I go to computer, you'll see I have my local hard disks within the actual virtual operating system, and I've also got all my network locations which have been mapped through the standard Active Directory topology. So it's important to note that whatever's been applied on my normal FAT client is also being applied within this virtual client in terms of policies, folder redirections, and all your other corporate standards. So I can get access to everything I need from this new workstation in effect. If I now browse the C drive, I just want to demonstrate to you that there's no smoke and mirrors here. This is actual factual. There is no Adobe Reader, there is no Mozilla, there is no Notepad++ installed. This is all virtualized, and I'm going to demonstrate that now. If I go to Program Files, you'll see that there is no Adobe directory or any of the other directories I just spoke about. If I go back to, because it's a 64-bit operating system, just to prove, you can see within the 8.6 directory there also is still no branding, there's no Adobe, etc. What this has given me is a base operating system. This base operating system is standardized. I've created a base image, a master gold template, which is a pure Windows 7. I may have installed some core applications, which in fact on this I've installed the whole Office suite, and that's the only core app I've installed. Everything else I want to deliver virtually as another layer on top of the operating system. Thereby I'm keeping the operating system as clean and as pure and as vanilla as possible. I have this one golden image, and all the other clients that will connect and all the other users that will connect through to this end desktop environment, they will also reference that one master image. So I can have one image, let's say it's 10 gigabytes in size, Windows 7 vanilla. You can then deliver that up to 10,000, however many users concurrently, and they all have read-only access to that image, and it's all delivered through this Zen Desktop FlexCast technology. That's a huge development and advantage, because it means at any point I'm guaranteeing that all my end nodes are running exactly the same version of the operating system, my exact same corporate build. We can control the lockdowns, we know exactly what applications are installed by default, etc. So when it comes to the applications, of course, users are going to have different requirements. Some power users are going to want some development applications. Other users, such as marketing departments, may need some Photoshop type applications. And then you've got your standard corporate users who will use the Office suite and maybe some other core business applications. All these applications can be delivered and will be delivered on top of the operating system as virtual entities, virtual bubbles, using latest virtualization technologies. There's quite a few different vendors out there offering virtualization, but over the years, and I've been working with many vendors over the years, there's a couple of, there's a main core provider at the moment, and basically there was a company called SoftGrid that developed, Softricity, that developed a product called SoftGrid. And Microsoft purchased them around about 3-4 years ago, and since then they've developed and rebranded and called it Microsoft AppV. And this is really the preferred choice. It's a very mature virtualization platform. It works extremely well. It has superb features. And I'm going to demo to you now just how easy it is to launch my virtual application. If I take Adobe, for example, and double-click this icon, what's happening in the background is it's talking to the central application virtualization server, and it's streaming down the data to this end virtual client to cache it within a hidden area. So it may take a few seconds. Once that happens and it's cached, the next time I relaunch Adobe, it will launch instantly because it's already pre-cached within this hidden area on the local system. So in a minute, Adobe will hopefully load up, and I can demo to you the functionality. Meanwhile, I could launch another one, such as Notepad++.